All right, hello everybody. This is Mr. Miller. Waving. I'm going to be going over this is me talking. It's weird, it looks like slow motion. I'm going to be going over the Unit 5 study guide. I know some people have had a little bit of trouble with it. We've done study guides before, hence why this is Unit 5 and not Unit 1. But some things are a little bit different, might be a little bit tough. One thing that shouldn't be new is doing your tag on it, even if you're just typing on it on the computer. You're going to want to put your tag on there, of course. Now, some people are having trouble. We usually want to do drawings and examples. Now, examples are pretty easy for these. Look at the islands of evolution for examples, branching tree diagram. You can use examples from the PowerPoint notes. Lots of places to look for these. If you are typing it up online and not printing it out to do drawings, you can always do a drawing on a piece of paper. You can number it, like let's say you want to do a drawing for natural selection and show the steps. You could do that on a separate piece of paper and then take a picture of it and upload it along with the actual finished document. You can email it to me if worse comes to worse. So you can get drawings in there. And please do. I find that they are the thing that are probably going to help you the most in really understanding. They show me understanding as well. And these ones, again, are pretty straightforward. Look in your PowerPoint notes and reading packets for answers to these. Some of this is going to be on the history of the Earth. Some of it's going to be more recent, like the evolution PowerPoint notes or natural selection PowerPoint notes. The law of superposition, you're going to look on the history of the Earth, that one that we did the first week after we were shut down there and the campus was closed. You're going to find that information and go back to that website. It's the one that was the History of the Earth website, talks about the different layers, how to use radiometric dating versus relative dating. Relative dating, if you remember, just means one layer is older than the other. I call it the law of duh because it's so obvious. The lower layers would have had to been placed there first. The upper layers are more recent. How old is this fossil? Just a matter of talking through. These are going to be, they're going to use that absolute dating, which can only be done on rock, can't be done on sedimentary rock, so they're going to have to do it on the igneous rock here. And then they would then use the law of superposition to figure out just how old that is. Just walk through that in your answer. These ones, this is also on the history of the Earth. You can look at the reading packets, chapter 9 reading packets. You can also look at the history. Oops. I don't have everybody yell at me that it's not on screen, so I have to be careful with that. Time marches on reading packet. It does say on here where you can find this information as well. Just think it through and walk me through your thinking. Separations of time, that's in the reading packet, and on history of the Earth talks about the different time periods and how scientists separate the different time periods. Part 2 of the study guide is really walking through your understanding of natural selection and evolution. How would Darwin say? What would his theory be for why giraffes look the way they do today if they weren't like this in the past? You could do some drawings, walk us through. There's going to be 4 steps there for natural selection. Right? We've got something in the environment is forcing a change. Walk us through those steps. This one is more about the reading packet, chapter 10, section 2. What pieces of evidence did he use, following through his studies? What did he use to help him? Not just what he found on the Galapagos Island, but these other things that he used. And number 12, create an example of a new species forming. You've got to go through those 3 steps again. I think I said 4 earlier. Those 3 steps have got to be isolated. So you could have, squirrels being separated by a river or something like that. It's got to be a difference in the environment. What's different on the other side that's not the same where they were before? And then how do they respond? What adaptations would they have that would be different to fit this new changed environment? So go through that. You can do drawings, not necessary, but definitely want to go through those 3 steps. On the back, a lot of people have trouble with this one. I think part of the reason is on the PowerPoint notes, you've got a branching tree diagram that is sideways, and you've got one that's kind of angled out. This one's going up from the bottom, more like a real tree. We start down here, 30 million years ago, we've got our ancient mammal, and then it comes up and here's a branch point. Most things don't come off. I know this one's coming straight off the mammal. Usually you wouldn't have that. You'd have a branch point. Even with cave lions, you'd have a branch point. You probably wouldn't have lions coming off that. It would branch off. And make sure to mark it. These cave lions have gone extinct. We don't find cave lions anymore. If you didn't know that, now you know. We don't have saber-toothed tigers anymore. So anything that's gone extinct should not make it to the today line. Anything else that is still alive today, house cats, I can tell you they are alive today. Our cat just had kittens. So they're alive and thriving. They should be above that line. How you branch it off is up to you. It's not a, it's just, do you understand how branching tree diagrams work and what branch points are? And what does it mean to be extinct? It means they don't make it to the today line. So walk us through that. I've done a little bit here for you. You just finish it up. Make sure you've got all of these covered. Every single one of these should be on your branching tree diagram. Number 14, 5 main pieces of evidence. This is pretty straightforward. This is right out of your evolution PowerPoint notes. Just copy that down, maybe give an example. You can give an example of the bone structure, give an example of the fossil record, all those different things here. Make sure to number them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're good to go. All right, so feel free to email me if you have any questions. You can also send or put messages on Google Classroom. All right, this is Mr. Miller. Good luck. Test Friday.